not installed correctly. I won't say who the builder is. Trust me, it's okay. We're not going to get that deep in it. Welcome back, guys. Real Talk Real Estate. My name is Scott Werner, the Capstone team, brokered by EXP. To my left, my best friend, my Don Juan.
Donovan Johnson. I work at Coldwell Banker, Ingle Safari, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Real Talk Real Estate.
So, I hope our cameraman's ready for all this today. But today, we are talking about inspections. Like, you have a house under contract, you have it ready to go, and all of a sudden,
dun, 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 dun. Guy shows up with a flashlight.
Yeah,
looking around, looking at everybody's business.
Seeing if you qualify or don't qualify for this. No, seriously. What we're talking about today is inspections. They can either make or break a deal. That it's scary how good or how bad these things can do.
Yeah, because, like, man, you put the offer in, you may have negotiated a little bit, you come to some good terms, you're happy, you may have even done the dumb thing of posting on Facebook, "We're under contract, boys." And then the honeymoon phase can end in a heartbeat.
Today we are talking horror stories, negotiation strategies, how to keep everybody out of the crawl space when the inspector is going into the crawl space. So let's talk about it today.
So, typical inspection, you hire somebody that's a licensed inspector, not your uncle, and they check everything from HVAC, electrical, crawling around in the attic, crawling around underneath the house, water, utilities, like everything. They even will test the gas if you have gas in the home. And also, fun fact, in our contract, standard language, unless otherwise noted, you have to have all utilities on for the inspection anyway. The seller does. So
No, you're correct, and they had to keep it on. That's something that the seller usually has to pay for, in this is off topic, but market houses, that's the hard thing because who's going to get the electricity going, who's get the water, who's get the things going. But it's, once again, how do you talk around it? But the buyer thinks that it's just going to be a little quick check, a little, hey, let me peek under this hood. Well, guess what? It's not just the peek under its hood. It's looking at the wheels. It's looking at the tires. It's looking at the suspensions. It's looking at everything in this house.
And we'll talk more about this in the next little section, but even a new construction home needs an inspection. Just because it's quote unquote new doesn't mean there may not be like problems and issues that come up that need to be resolved.
Quick segue. I had a new I bought my new house and brand new build.
You bought your new house.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it's personal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I had Roland McCormick with House Call come in. Rose, shout out to the best inspector in Lake Charles.
3 WDIRs is what
that's huge. All right. So anyway, he goes through the inspection. I'm thinking, one or two things, nothing major, because, I used to be an inspector, so I used to do this. So I'm like, nothing major is going to be there, this, that, just checklist items. My brother lifted up part of the roof and took a picture and said, yeah, the roof's not installed correctly. I won't say who the builder is. Trust me, it's okay. We're not going to get that deep in it. But guess what? New house, new build, nobody's lived in there, and the shingles weren't attached properly. That's something that you should be worried about, and that's why you need an inspection. But let's get back to this. I mean, look, we're talking about loose outlet covers? No, brother. We're talking about foundation crack, water intrusions, things like that. Guess what? I had a lady said yesterday, is this a pass or fail kind of inspection? I'm like, no, it's not a pass or fail. Your house is not graded, doesn't get an F, doesn't get an A, doesn't get a C, but they let you know about the problems that they see.
God, remember pass, fail, and well,
Yeah.
I didn't go to college, but in college there was a
Dang.
R am I
No, no,
alright,
you're
I just
100%.
making sure I wasn't.
I was
But in college, sometimes you take a class on pass-fail if you don't need the it just reminded me of that, and inspections are not like that. Usually pass-fails is like just show up to get credit.
yeah,
When the inspector shows up,
you're gonna get you better
something's
be
getting
ready.
credited, get ready. Um, but yeah, and sometimes there's even my favorite little attic creature, a little creepy crawly thing. I've seen a couple little animals.
So, my favorite is actually had this abandoned house, and there was a raccoon, little family.
When you say abandoned, was it foreclosed on or was it
Yes.
just
Yeah.
oh, okay.
It was a foreclosed on house, and they had a little raccoon family up in the attic, like, just living their best life. And guess what? That's some things that inspectors see. I was doing not me inspecting in New Orleans. I had an inspector friend in New Orleans that crawled underneath the house. In the back corner of this house, he saw some eyes looking at him. Alligator. Alligator underneath the
Where
house. North Shore of Louisiana. Nowhere near 3 hours away from
that's my only thing I'm checking for.
here. 3 hours away from here, but can you imagine crawling up underneath the house and, all of a
Gators
sudden
are fast too, man.
yeah,
I
I would be worried
Your
about
friend
cats.
survived, he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Is he still an inspector?
Yeah. But no, I mean, look, managing expectations, we gotta understand these things. That's what people, like, just have to understand.
Right, and as an agent, especially when I was newer, I didn't realize it because in my head, I kinda know what are big ticket items, and I know what is more misdemeanor, like paint scrapings and stuff like that, very easy fix. But we have to do a good job of preparing them, like, just because this is yellow doesn't mean it's yellow like, it's usually color coded, like, red, green, yellow as far as importance. Some red items are not that bad, and I've seen some green items, and I'm like, "This is way more deeper than what he's trying to make it out to be," like, so it's getting ahead of the game with it is so important to because keep in mind, like, you're walking them through this deal and keeping the honeymoon phase, everybody's happy, Second the honeymoon phase ends, reality hits, and now we're having to deal with real life.
Look, going back to that, before the inspection starts, you have to prepare your client. Hey, by the way, this is gonna be like a 40-page report on this house. You're gonna be okay. We're going to walk through it. It's fine. That's how I had to handle them. It's just like, look, kid gloves on. Let's go ahead and say everything's gonna be fine. Doesn't mean that the house is gonna fall down. Let's get through this deal.
Dude, I like that because, again, if you don't prep 'em, man, you can't assume nothing is one of the biggest things I've realized, and with real estate and communication, like, almost over explain, and you should be able to kinda feel your client. Usually, like, you usually talk to one or the other more, even if y'all are in, like, a group text with everybody, but you gotta be able to just anticipate.
I mean, you also have to talk to sellers. If you're on the selling side, hey, look, we're getting it inspected. It's not a pass fail thing. No home is perfect. Guess what? There's going to be some issues, and we're just going to have to roll with the punches. It depends on what they're going to ask for and how you position yourself.
And not in this buyer's market per se, but when it was a seller's market and people were selling 20, 30, even 40K above what their house would like appraise for, they would get pre-inspections. And that's also a good idea. But I've seen people get pre-inspections and then the buyer would still come in and do their own inspection, of course. But seeing that attached in the like our real estate documents does kind of give me a little peace of mind.
Exactly. I mean, it's just, guess what? These are don't have any surprises ahead. Get in front of your surprises and get this thing done.
I like that. And we've been kind of talking about I say the fluff, kind of like the patting the baby side of it. But now let's get into some more of the babies crying and screaming, the baby being the client, and we can't.
Like, for first-time home buyers or first-time parents.
Yeah,
First-time
yeah,
parents,
dude.
"This baby's screaming at 2 o'clock in the morning, what do I do?" kinda thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I once I had an inspector flag major structural concern. Buyer panicked, went out the room, called her dad, called her mom, "Look, my house that I'm buying, it's done. He's ugly. Yeah, the baby's ugly, crying at 2 o'clock in the morning. We brought in a structural engineer. Turned out it was a minor crack. Minor crack. Structural engineer is like, look, it's on a 20-year-old patio slab. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't worry about it. I mean, at one point in time, if you want to tear this patio slab up, great, but save the deal. Done.
And that's the thing, we can't overreact and get emotional about it, because at the end of the day, it is about numbers, and you just need to verify before you assume. Because I've done enough stuff in houses where I can almost look at something and have a gut feeling, but even then, Imma just see how the report plays out, and that's why it's important for me and Scott to build out our list of like, not even clients, but what am I trying to say? Like, service people that you can
Yep.
call, like, you should know a couple electricians, a couple plumbers, like,
Painters. Yeah.
painters, people that can just help you save a deal and show them that, "Man, this may only be a $500 fix that we can ask the seller to
Yeah.
supplement." Anyway, we're gonna talk about that in a second.
But sometimes it is bad. Sometimes you have a leak that nobody knows about, not even the seller. The seller's not trying to be shady at all, but you have a leak that's rotting out the subfloor. Well, guess what? That's something that's scary. That's something that's real bad. You know, it's how do you move on from there? That might kill the deal, but guess what? You always go back and say, "Hey, look, they're going to probably get it fixed. Let's keep them as a referral in the back of my mind. Let's keep it as something that as a place that I could go back to."
Absolutely, and here's the thing, not every deal you're not gonna be able to save. Like, I would hate to kinda know the number of deals that I've gone under contract versus the number that's gone to completion. That'd actually be kind of a cool number to
It
know.
would know. Yeah.
Wow. But how you act, especially when you take the loss or the deal falls apart, means everything, and that could lead to that client being a repeat and saying, "You know what? We may have not won this fight, but I'm willing to go to war with you again." And that's just about building a personal connection and showing that you care about them more than a wasted paycheck.
Exactly. Keep a calm tone. You don't have communication clear. Keep it clear. Keep a calm tone. Be genuine about it. As Roland McCormick used to say, words have meanings. I mean, keep the calm tone. Use your words correctly. Don't be stumbling over it. Just, hey, it's how we're going to get through this.
Speaking of words have meaning, real quick, I mean, literally, if you're a believer, if you're not, just open up Genesis 1:1. I mean, it says in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and I think it's verse 2 or 3. He's like, "Let there be light," and then light came. And I believe that that same power is inside of us. We may not be able to spawn universes, but we can build up this one.
I mean, truthfully, that's something that we can easily do, and guess what? God's always on our side, so if we trust in him, the words that we're gonna say are usually coming from him, and so that just keeps it calm, cool, and collected. Negotiation strategies after inspections. Hit us up with a few.
So, first of all, usually when the inspection report hits, I've seen buyers have the thing of like they just won't even really read it and be like, "Fix everything," and I'm like,
Mm,
"Oh,"
mm.
but then I've learned that there's a good chance that I wasn't good on the front end though, if they're like, "I want everything fixed." The other thing that's crazy is when they start saying like, "Well, I talked to so and so." Well, so and so ain't the real estate expert, so I need you to lock in with me real quick, you know?
I mean, that's where you step in to be the voice of reason. You don't fight, you translate. You go ahead and say, "Look, my here's what we need to do for safety. Here's a preference." Once again, it's how you position yourself on the field. If you're gonna be the coach on this field, the real estate agent, will you be the coach? You walk them through this.
I like that, and you gotta prioritize these big ticket items. Scott's example of the roof, super important because if that roof leaks, think about it coming from the top, just a bad deal, very bad deal.
Mhm.
Another one, electrical hazards, cloth wiring's the biggest thing we usually see. That's basically that the Pacific Georgia Pacific breakers boxes,
Federal Pacific.
Federal Pacific boxes usually are a really bad sign that because those breakers don't trip right. They basically would anti-trip and just let They
Current, keep
let
going.
the current keep
No,
going.
I got you, boss.
Um, Another one's foundation and plumbing. I've had certain agents now almost request that their client to get those sewer scopes done on the houses that they're having.
I mean, look, there's 3 paths that we can do it. We can either ask for them to fix it, ask for money back because of the inspection, or, in Louisiana, we're whereas as is, we can say we'll take it as is and move forward with the sale. We'll get the transaction done.
And honestly, if I have the seller, my favorite thing is just to offer them money because one, you're not liable for anything after, and two, I just want it done now. Imagine I'll tell them, you want to sell this thing and be done. You don't want to have nothing attached. You want to be, even if it is an extra 1,500, 2K, that's a very small price to pay to not have to physically go out there and start messing with stuff. And because once you start agreeing on fixing stuff before or after, like it has to get usually re-inspected and up to par. And it's just a lot of liabilities and legal stuff that I'd rather not get into.
I mean, like you said, especially for those agents out there, you have to document the things that you see because guess what? We are doing a service that people can come back to us, and everybody is legal happy nowadays. They're ready to have a lawyer on call just to be
Facts,
like, "Hey,
bro.
right here." I mean, the last thing is truthfully just finding balance, keeping the trust. The truth is, inspections are never fun, but they're necessary. They're a necessary thing for a transaction of a house. And guess what? It might be something that you don't regret getting down the line.
Right. And man, inspections are going to test your patience, but also your professionalism and your negotiation skills.
I mean, if you guide a buyer or seller through this, hey, look, you might be like the captain of the ship. Every time they're doing something real estate, they're calling you. You just have to position yourself properly.
And we're dealing with people's biggest purchase in their life, possibly. Only thing kind of more important than at home is probably their children. So we need to keep that in mind that it's emotions, people, you're juggling a couple things.
I mean, to end this, the next time that the inspector says we got a problem, just smile and nod and say, of course we do. And you can get through it.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us again. This is Real Talk Real Estate. I am Don. This is my wonderful co host, Scott. If you can do us a favor, please send us any funny or wild inspection stories, comments, posts, whatever. We would love to shout y'all out and just hear y'all's experience too. All love at the bottom. Game point.